I used to think going for walks was so dumb. I was happy in my home, just chilling, playing video games. CSGO, that is. And inadvertently, that means I'm not taking in any nature at all. But after walking in nature for so many years now, it's one of the greatest things you could do for your mind. Because out in nature, it's just nature, man. It's there waiting for you to take in or not. It's chilling. It doesn't care if you show up on time. It doesn't care what your career stature is. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care what you look like. You can go out in nature dressed in whatever clothes you want and they'll be like, okay, cool. Hello. Nature is wonderful. And it stood up through years of abuse. Still standing. It adapts. Whenever there's a new force put on it, it reorganizes its resources to try to survive. And when you come out in nature, you leave behind the four walls that have been keeping your mind closed. Closed to change, closed to other people, closed from any experience whatsoever. Because when you're inside, very little change can even happen to you. Of course, in our digital world, so many random connections can be made when we're online doing things, but what about the physical reality? We also have that to live as well. And if we're not physically interacting with things, with people, with experiences, it's almost like we are living this false narrative. Because when we're in the technology world, we can maybe feel happy, but we're not tapped in 24/7. That is not where all our life is lived. And I don't even want it to be honest, but you gotta go to a job. You gotta step away from the phone to, I don't know, go shop for a bit. Go do all these things. You know, like life is very physical. You got your friends to talk to. You got your parents or family to share moments with. It's not in this hyper internet-driven world that we live in, but it feels like that is where we have to be because everyone else is doing it, and if everyone else is doing it, then we have to too. But if that is the case, who's living in the real world? Who's living outside in nature, outdoors? So many people still. But you can't see them when you're inside all the time. Life is actually moving all around you at all times. It does not stop. There's people going for morning runs. There's people going to this for evening walks, evening strolls. There's people smiling at strangers every day. Earlier today, I was just on my walk. I walked past the guy sitting on his porch with a dog, and I say, "Great evening, eh?" And he's like, "Yep, no mosquitoes." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, it's unbelievable. There's no mosquitoes." But that's just to say, when you're indoors all the time, you cannot actually connect to the experiences that happen outside because you're just boxed in. The physical world doesn't happen indoors. A stranger cannot come up to you and smile at you when you're in your home. In fact, that would be quite bizarre. So you have to leave your home. You have to get in nature. How do you experience calmness if you're perpetually peppered with explosive, like, new internet things or articles to read, videos to watch, so much information all the time? Like, nature does not care about that stuff. It's irrelevant out here. In fact, like, celebrities do not exist out in nature. Your career does not exist. Your what you look like does not exist. Who you have to be does not exist. It's nature. You can just step out in it and live it. And it welcomes you with open arms, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'm telling you, it's here waiting for you to take in. Because I never used to like walking. I never used to like going out in nature. I didn't realize what it would do for me. Until when I would go out in it, my anxiety melted away. Because I didn't have to put on a performance out here. I could just think. I could start to acknowledge my shadow of my person and come closer to who I am. So it's a very interesting discussion to have. And hello. And it's one that I think we all need to consider more of. And yeah, you can go out in nature and be on your own. So maybe you do feel lonely if you go for a walk on your own. Why do I want to walk on my own? But I mean, it's some of the best medicine. You are just walking and strolling on your own accord. You can go wherever you want. Your mind can unfurl wherever it needs to. You can look at little birds in the trees just doing bird tree stuff. It's not actually lonely out here. It's just a figment of your imagination. Hello. It's a figment of your imagination that you make up so you don't go outside, so you don't leave the very place that's comfortable to you. And I mean, I don't know. There's just nothing wrong with being by yourself. Like, I don't feel like I'm by myself out here because there's so many people walking by. There's so many people. Like, there's people playing frisbee right there. There's animals. Like, I saw a fox earlier. I saw a deer. I saw these birds. This woodpecker on this broken, like, this old tree pecking away. See these people, I just said hello to one of them. A couple of them, actually. People are out here living their life in the real world, and I don't know about you, but they smile. And if you are sad and you go outside, maybe you'll run into one of these people that smile. Maybe you'll run into a good interaction. More of life happens outside than you realize. Outside the confines of your four walls. It's a important thing to realize, because otherwise you'll just never see the potential of change that could happen in life. Hello. And to that. I don't even know what this conversation's about fully. Like I do. But my mind is just drifting from one thought to another, and I'm just flowing as the thoughts just emerge. And this is the practice I like having when I'm on my walks. To literally just stop filtering my mind all the time. And that's what happens when you're at home, when you're taking in content. You don't even have time to break down your filter. You're constantly just filtering. You're constantly like judging absolutely everything, every piece of content, every decision. You can't even turn it off. But out here, when I have so much space to breathe and just think, and I'm like, I don't listen to stuff, like, it's just, you're re-tapping into what your brain is actually doing, what your unconscious mind is picking up on. And that is so important to understand, because so much of our struggles mentally come from what our unconscious is picking up on. And when you're able to intercept some of these signals, you can kind of consciously start to reprogram your brain to literally just think better, to think wiser. Look who it is. And just like that, you bump into people that you know. How serendipitous. I'm Matthew. It's good to leave the house once in a while. Peace and love.